Okay, recorder's on. Go for it.
This is Shannon Ryan from shannon-ryan.com, and you are listening to Vroom Vroom Veer with Jeff Smith, reminding you that your money, it has feelings.
Nicely done. See? Very polished, very media-ready person we're talking to here.
Not really. Don't have you fooled.
Whatever. It worked.
Yay!
Yay. All right, let me hit stop. I'll be right back. All right.
Are you ready to thoughtfully steer away from your revved up, frenzied, and far too often scripted life? Then welcome to Vroom Vroom Veer with Jeff Smith, where he guides you down the road differently traveled by sharing unique experiences with guests who have managed to shift away from a life stuck on cruise control and veered their way into a more authentic and fulfilling one in all sorts of interesting and kind of remarkable ways. Get ready to Vroom Vroom Veer with your differently traveled road chauffeur, Jeff Smith.
Meghan Cathlin. Hey. Welcome to Vroom Vroom Veer. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for having me today.
And thank you for being here. I usually say that, but the screw up screwed me up. Okay, so you're at MeghanCathlin.com. And so talk a little bit about what you're most excited about in your business and life today.
Sure. And I'll say it's Meghan with an H, Meghan,
Yeah,
Cathlin.
Right.
As far as what I'm most excited about, I just came out with my first debut book. It's part memoir, part prescriptive. It's called Leading with the Heart.
Perfect.
And it's a book that really covers all of my personal stories and a collection of the various lessons I learned along the way. And the entire through line is really all about how to take direction from the heart. And
Nice.
It aligns really well with Vroom Vroom Veer because
Totally.
the heart is guiding us through those veer moments and really directing us on the meaning we can make of it. So I'm excited to talk about that today. But
Me too.
yeah, thank you. And so aside from the book, I'm just excited to start my next one, which I'm already beginning this month. So my plan is to keep on writing, teaching, speaking. And then I also have a small roster of clients with my agency, Considerate Ventures, where I help people who have public platforms and need support with logistics or even life coaching and support in various ways.
Wow. You got a lot going on.
I do. Yes. Yes. Thank goodness I have the heart to keep me on track.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're having fun. You're smiling. You look healthy. I always like looking at people and going, she looks healthy. That person looks healthy.
That's right. They are living.
It flows, right? That feeling of I'm doing something right, you know?
Yes. Fulfillment.
Yeah.
Fulfillment
Right.
is the word.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. You know it. I know you know it because that's your life story too. It's like, what do we do that fulfills us versus what looks good on paper?
Yeah, totally. So let's go back in time and talk about little Meghan Cathlin.
Yes.
Yeah, because you had a rough start, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So without me knowing anything other than what's on your website, right? So everybody already knows, but you lost your father at age 5.
That's right.
So
I did.
That's got to be weird for a 5-year-old.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about because obviously we still have this huge stigma around suicide.
Right.
And to me, I've relabeled that now. Like I call that like they died of a disease, and maybe that disease was depression or alcoholism or whatever, right? As you know, and I'm a suicide survivor, right? So when you in that space of, it's not like I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to deal with my problems.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just was like, well, that's one way.
Yes. I think it's
And
come
not
up
a
for
really
so many
good
of us.
way. Right. A really bad way. Right. Yeah. So talk a little bit about what that was like for a 5-year-old who doesn't really even know what's going on.
Yes, at that age, everything is a little bit cloudy and foggy and not as clear at 5. But, obviously it was a really rough time to know that our father had passed. And it was my mother and my 2 older siblings and I, all under the age of 8.
Wow.
But what was really most impactful is we didn't know it was by suicide for a couple of years. So we were told it was by a heart attack. So my mom waited. Yeah, I think my mom felt that we needed a little bit more.
Oh, okay. So she knew.
Time.
You guys didn't know. Okay, got it.
Yes, she told us that he had died by a heart attack because she didn't want to deliver such a shocking news all at once. So she made the decision to wait.
Okay.
And she delivered the news to us in the therapist office. And so I was 7 at that time. And so that was, I thought about these vroom, vroom, Veer moments. And I would say that may have been what we would characterize as a Veer moment because.
Yeah, capital V.
Yeah, exactly.
All caps with an exclamation point.
Yes, but it wasn't a crash, which was great. So for me, what happened, I internalized it in a really powerful way. I had already been a very loving child, and I had had deep notions about giving back to the world, and I felt a lot of love for the world as a young girl.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it was a really, really beautiful thing to have innate in me. But at the age of 7, when I found out he took his life, at that time, I had been raised in the Catholic Church. Sure. And at that time, the church, at least that I went to, their appraisal of suicide was that it was a sin.
Right.
So I remember walking out of the therapist office in the parking lot and just trying to imagine my father in hell. And
oh my.
I know. I was like, wait, what is that? I was trying to is that possible? I was trying to picture his face in the flames, like just to make sense of it.
Sure.
And something really beautiful happened because in that moment, I had this almost awakening or knowing that I knew that that was not true. And I felt into it. And it was this knowing that I was not going to believe in a story that there's a God or a universe that would take pleasure in torturing someone who was already clearly suffering.
Right.
So I anchored even more deeply into my heart in that moment. I believed in love. I believed in a loving universe. And so for me, there was no shroud of shame or a feeling of being abandoned by my father. I had empathy and sadness, of course, but I really held it as life is still beautiful and it's supposed to be beautiful. And this is a sad thing that happened, but my dad is not being punished and I'm not being punished.
Good for you.
And that's well, it was
nice.
huge. It was, I mean, and it's where I start chapter 1 of Leading with the Heart, because it really was the moment that I was able to recognize really what my belief system was. And so
that's amazing.
Like and like so many
lucky,
of us know are
really lucky,
very lucky, very lucky,
you could have gone like a completely different, so many different ways. Right.
Yes. And it's a sad story, but it's a beautiful story because it really clarified who I was and who I was going forward. So that was a really powerful Veer moment. You know, ultimately it did, I didn't stay strong for a period of time. I did take 5 steps back, which I can talk about next if you want me to move on to that.
Or because like when you're 7, I get it. I can see you're getting emotional. So that still has like pain involved in there. Yeah, I get it.
So much, feeling. I don't know if I would describe it as pain, but something like pain. Sure. Yeah. Like there's love and
I know that. I know
loss.
that feeling. It's in the heart. It's achy and you've got to put space around it. I totally get it. Yeah.
Well said. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You want it. You want that ache because there's nothing wrong with it. Just feel it. Right. It goes away.
That's right. That's great advice. That's really what it's great advice, truly, because you got to just let it go through.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Breathe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Always really good advice. Breathe.
Yes. Yes.
But the stigma of suicide is the question, really, because like, does everyone know that when you're like in elementary school and in high school and junior high? Or so is that something you're carrying around like the letter A or something? Instead of A, it's S. I don't know.
Do you mean like, did I worry about the stigma?
Right.
That's a good question. I really didn't. Any, and again, it's one of those, another gift that I had, but I was an oversharer. And that was a big part of why I think I've had a healthier outcome is that I shared, I didn't feel less than, which was really important. And that's not the same of my brother and sister, just to compare the different experiences. Like, I didn't think it said something about who my family was, who my father was, or who I was.
Right.
So I shared it with classmates. I shared it with teachers, with neighbors. I think the fact that I was very open about it helped me and made it feel safer to share it. Right. And I know that that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. Sure. I'm sure it was uncomfortable for the people that I was sharing it with.
Well, nobody wants to talk about death, let alone suicide, right? Nobody knows what to say because there's nothing to say.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't have the stigma at all.
Good
I
for you.
certainly,
That's
I
good.
wanted something different, of course. I would have loved, unfortunately, we were poor and we lived just on the outskirts of a wealthy school district.
Interesting.
So,
Okay.
and that was a very unfortunate stroke of luck there. But I very much wanted to present like they all presented. I really wanted to have a nice home and a father and a mother who was available to be with us.
Right, right.
I didn't have those things, and I definitely wanted it. But at the same time, I didn't hide from pain. I didn't hide from sharing it because I just felt like it made it less awkward, less shame-filled somehow.
Yeah. That's interesting because when I was a kid, I was probably poor, but I never really identified that. Like if you would have come up to me and when I was any age, probably up until like maybe towards the end of say like elementary school, I had like a feeling like, well, maybe we don't have as much money as other people. Like, like the Lormans, they have a store. Obviously, they have more money than us.
Yeah.
Right. But I didn't think we were poor.
Yes.
So like hearing someone say that they identify as poor at that age is interesting to me because at some point my dad lost his job. He got laid off and then got rehired in a labor job. He went from management to labor again. And I remember the church people came and gave us food during the holidays. And I went, are we poor now? They're giving us free food. Is this something that happens? Right. I was like, and so my parents did a really good job of
they did
like not letting that seep in. Cause that even when that happened, they're like, no, we're fine.
Yeah. No, that's
You're
wonderful.
still getting presents, right. Yeah. So anyway, and side thought. Okay. So you get through that. So what was it like in high school then? So are you carrying this around as like a strong piece of identity?
Well, the bigger moment happened a bit earlier. It was when I was in elementary school, 4th and 5th grade, when I started confronting mean girls for the first time. And we were entering that age of when people start to notice the differences in your lifestyle. And unfortunately I had my first little bully in 5th grade, where she really targeted people for that reason alone. It was very tough. But at a certain point,
why do girls target other girls? Was it because of like status or was it because of size? Like dudes, it's usually like some of both.
I think that the why people target each other is probably pretty universal for the reasons why, feelings of insecurity, wanting power, all that kind of thing. But the tactics might be a little bit different.
Right. There you go.
The style.
True. Right. Yes.
Yeah. It could be a little cattier. Like for the girls, it's, let me make sure all the girls in this room know not to talk to her that kind of thing. It's a little more brutal than just, or I guess
I had a pretty devastating element. I think it was like 4th or 5th grade where I won't name them.
Yeah.
But I got invited to like a birthday sleepover and then got bullied all night.
Oh.
So I was like the sleepover victim. I know.
That's horrible.
Now I know I don't like those guys.
Yes, I know. But the mother in me wants to go kill those boys for you. I'm like, how dare you do that to Jeff?
No, you know what though? In retrospect, sure, it sucked.
Yeah.
But it sort of like toughens you up a little bit.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's like I should have seen this coming because these people are not my friends.
I know. Yeah. It was a hard-earned lesson, but
right. Yeah. I lived.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Anyway, so that's when that starts happening. Right.
Yeah. And so for me, I was really still a very positive, love-centered girl, but my home life was deteriorating even faster. Like as far as the poverty goes, our utilities were regularly turned off. My mom was gone,
struggling.
Not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of and then there was a lot of depression in the household. And just my siblings and my mother,
that's rough.
All kinds of psychological things happening. And so I felt very, very saddened by the state of our home life.
Scared.
Yeah. And I felt very alone. And so when at that time, when I was around fourth, fifth grade, my sister was also starting to rebel. She was a few years older.
Right.
So she started skipping school, drinking, she had her own attempts at suicide. But basically, after fourth and fifth grade of me trying to fit in, I finally had enough because it was too devastating. I was refusing to go to school. I was so sad. I was crying, skipping school. And eventually I decided to go on my sister's path because I couldn't succeed in the normal people's world is how I saw it.
Okay.
So I looked at my sister's path and I'm like, this is where I can succeed. This is where I can be welcome. So I ended up ultimately, by the time I got to eighth grade, I dropped out of school completely.
Wow.
So by the time I was at the age of 12 is when I started going down. So I started drinking, experimenting with light drugs.
Right.
And just refusing to go to school.
Those are my security clearance form for the Air Force, those light drugs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were
all know their names. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't, there was no needles or snorting involved.
Right.
So I was on that rebel path, and that is where I stayed for a few years. And I had a really wild, interesting lifetime in those few years, including one of my best friends was a homeless person named Jimbo. So there's a whole story there.
Yeah. Is he in the book? This
yes,
book sounds really good. Yes. Okay, cool.
Yes. Jimbo's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear more about Jimbo and being homeless.
Oh yeah. Jimbo was lovely. He was, even though it seemed like a very odd pairing, he was actually a beautiful gift to me at that time, because he was a good friend.
Protector,
when I felt
probably.
He was just a really fun, joyful companion, and it was what I needed. I can't remember what led us to that exact story, but I think you were wanting to know how I
dealt with
what became of me, basically.
Yeah.
So after, by the age of 14, I had a full-time job. I wasn't going to school, and I stumbled upon this place in my neighborhood that hired me. I just wrote 16 on the application, and I was hired.
Wow.
And it was really a beautiful
gift. So where in the world are you at this point?
And at this point, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. So at this point, that's where I grew up. I currently live in Austin,
Love
Texas.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio is great.
Never been to Austin, but I hear good things.
It's a great city too. But San Antonio is wonderful.
I love it.
So anyway, but working in this job, I started to re-enter normal life because I had this very, off-grid, strange life for a few years on the rebel path. But so when I got to working, I started to be around more normal, conventional people. Right. And I just really wanted to get back on the path of success. So I got back into finishing at my high school. I enrolled, and I got a job at 18 working for a local concert promoter. Wow. Which was a huge Veer moment. I didn't expect it. When that job I got when I was 14, one of my customers worked security for a concert promoter. So a couple of years later, I called him and asked him if that company was hiring. And the very day I called, the owner, the actual concert promoter's assistant, had just quit without notice. So I walked in at the right moment, and I jumped into the career that I stayed in for 25 years.
Wow.
So that it was beautiful. It was a great moment. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was the job that you got? Was it like a waitress or
at 14 it was a jewelry supply store. It was in my neighborhood so basically if you go drop off a ring to get a stone replaced, you take it to a jeweler. So a jeweler has to go buy all the supplies, the gold and the silver and the diamonds and whatever.
Oh, wow.
So we sold to those jewelers as well as like little bead crafty people. And so my job was a salesperson. So I stood behind the counter, and I would have regular customers come in, and it was me and about 5 salespeople on the floor. And
so you have to learn how to count cash and all those cash register skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I learned like really, really early, like you can't have me around money or math. It's I can't do it. Now I can do it as long as I'm in a room all by myself with like relaxing music and a pen and paper and a calculator. Yes. And I'm fine. But like me public cash, no good. Me public math, like trying to do math playing darts is just like an embarrassment of comedy. I mean, it's hilarious. It's like suddenly I know nothing about how arithmetic works.
That's hilarious. Like under pressure, like I can't do it. I love that. That's
I have
amazing.
to pay for some therapy apparently.
I share some of that, so I get it completely. Yeah.
My wife makes fun of me because, she's from Japan.
Yes.
And every elementary school kid in Japan learns how to do this trick on their hands of doing like arithmetic, like an abacus or something, right?
Oh,
so
that
they can
makes
just,
sense.
and they keep it like once you learn how, it's just right, and they don't even use their hands anymore. She's just using her hand and her head, and she
Yes.
tells me the answer, and I'm like, magic.
Yeah, exactly. She's got the glow around her.
Whoa, math happened.
That's amazing. I love
Anyway,
it.
so good for you not having the fear of math.
Oh yes. I mean, yeah, I forgot what we were talking about with
You
math.
had your
even, but-
job as a sales clerk.
Oh,
basically,
yes,
in the jewelry store. Sorry,
That's
I do
right.
this.
No.
It's a tangent thing.
Oh, it's okay. I'll go with you. I'll ride all the waves. Like we can go wherever you want.
Excellent.
But yes, it was a great. Those few years got me back on the path, and then
Yeah.
I started working
So
for the
did you
concert
finish
promoter.
school, or did you get a GED? Just to,
I
as
mean,
a question.
I can't say I got a real education, to be fair. I mean, what I ended up doing is I approached the alternative school that was attached to my official high school, and I went to the principal and said, I'd like to work full time. Can I work 4 days a week and then come to you on Friday and complete my assignments? And he agreed to it.
Oh, wow.
So I got a diploma, but I did not get an education, which is an interesting thing because I'm very smart, but
Yeah.
I'm missing lots of years of like
There's some
traditional
gaps
education
in there. Yeah,
like
knowledge
English
gaps.
literature, all
Yeah.
the things that all of you people learn, in
I
high
don't
school,
know.
or many of you, I should say, many of
I
you.
don't know. There's
Yeah.
huge amounts of gaps in my knowledge that
Okay, well, I
lots
won't
of
feel
people
alone then.
like. Yeah, but these things you don't even know that you
Right.
don't know until it maybe might come up in conversation or something.
Exactly.
You've probably filled in all the important gaps already if you read books.
I do. So I've tried.
There you go.
I've tried.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned
Yeah.
that like just reading fiction
Yes.
like puts you in this like other realm. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you read like smart fiction, it doesn't necessarily have to be literature, but like say like sci-fi, like
Mm-hmm. Right.
classic sci-fi. There's big
Yeah.
words in there. You're going to
That's
have to
right.
go look that shit up.
That's right. That's right. And it's fun. Too.
And they
It's fun.
have like they're never about what they're about.
That's right.
So that
Yes.
which is nice, right? So it's always
Yes.
like this, like, oh yeah, so we're in space or we're here or we're there, but it's always about real human things, right? That
That's
are
right.
happening in our life. Anyway, I digress yet again. Okay.
No, I love it.
So
yeah, and then you can keep going. Sorry. go ahead.
Why I wanted to ask is because I had a buddy who went through a lot of shit too as a kid, and then ended up getting like to graduation, and because of spite decided not to graduate. He's that kind of guy, right?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he was just like, screw you guys. I don't need a high school diploma. And he walks out, and then he goes out and tries to get a job and realizes that would have been a really good idea to get that high school.
Exactly.
So he ends up
Exactly.
getting a GED, and he tells me, yeah, GED is good, but everybody thinks you're a criminal.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
There's some stigma there. Mhm.
Yeah. So he's like, I should have got the freaking high school diploma. So good on you. Even though you
Yes.
didn't get the education, you can always fill that in. You've got the rest of your
Exactly.
life to read books.
Exactly. That's very well said. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. You got the right piece of paper. And it's so silly.
so
When you
silly.
think about like American life presented, it's so absurd. Anyway.
It really is. I completely agree. It's all these little boxes to check that
Exactly.
don't necessarily bring the
mean
meaning
anything
everything
other
it
than
does.
okay, well, there you go. And that's really all the bureaucrats care about is
That's
the bar.
right.
And then there's this other thing about how you can make up shit and it becomes reality. Like
there you
I
go.
learned that in like the medical world. If you want an allergy, all you have to say is you got it.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
took a
right.
sulfa drug once, right? And I had a reaction. I don't know if it was the medicine working or it was an allergy, but I just don't want to take it anymore. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
now I say I have a sulfa allergy
Oh, I
because
hear
I don't
you.
want to
Yeah.
take it anymore.
Yeah, and there you go. You're diagnosed.
There you
Stamp,
go. That's
stamped
it.
and move
Stamp.
on.
Check.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's move on. So, all right. You drop out at 8th grade. You get a job. So what is this job that becomes a career?
So it was working for the concert promoter.
Right.
So that happened
Wow.
at age 18. And I was so lucky to receive that job because at the time in the industry, this was 1998. It was before there was
98. Okay.
Yeah, 98. Okay. So that was before the music business had really kind of been taken over. Right. So it was back when, in the days when there was promoters in all different various cities. An agent would want to book, like the Rolling Stones, for example. He would have to call agents in every city. Now you call just 2 or 3 big promoters and get the whole tour booked. So I got to experience the music business before it was
a couple of years before it got taken over by.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that's right.
I don't even understand it anymore. I didn't understand it before.
Right. Exactly. Well, I loved it, and I was fortunate because we were a small company. We only did about 10 to 12 shows a year. 8 or 10 concerts for 6,000 to 7,000 people. 1 or 2 festivals that had like 20,000 people. It was a good amount of work for a small team.
Right.
But I was fortunate because we were a small team, so I was able to touch everything from the very beginning. And I was naturally highly organized, and the owner was a wonderful producer of concerts, but he was not organized with his office. And so it was like a playground for me. So he would allow me to take over anything I wanted to.
Right.
And when I was ready to try booking bands, when I was ready to start doing security plans, like he was happy for me to take it over and didn't mind. So it was really a wonderful learning ground. And I stayed with that company for about 6 years. And towards the end of that, I also picked up contract work from an event agency that was corporate. So I went from this kind of rock and roll concert promoter who wore muscle t-shirts and smoked cigarettes and dropped the F-bomb regularly.
Sure.
And then the boss at the corporate event agency, she was your Dallas, Neiman Marcus suit wearing, socialite kind of woman.
Right.
Brilliant woman, but just very manicured.
Yeah.
And so I was able to learn under her, and she brought me on to build out her production department. So I started booking concerts and planning events for corporate entities, which was major for me because all of a sudden I was going into offices and sitting down with the executive team and looking at it from a whole different angle.
Whole different world.
Yes. So working with her refined me in a way I could never have gotten from this concert promoter because he would walk into meetings with, flip-flops.
Right. Yes.
Oh yeah. He would not behave in meetings. It was, he refused to be
Conform.
PC.
He's just rock and roll.
He was just rock and roll. He did not care.
Businessman, you can't dress like me.
Exactly. So working for her was a gift because it really refined me. And then I ultimately ended up, doing my own thing and forming my own company that, has been the case since. But
nice. Wow.
But an important Veer moment in there. Do you mind if I introduce a Veer?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So part of what got me on the path of success after my dark childhood, by the time I was about 17, I was getting very intense about making up for all of the time I had lost, not being a rebel, I wasn't.
Right.
And I did feel judged and scorned by a lot of the people in that school district because they were very, it was more of an elitist school.
Got it.
So a big part of me wanted to make up for all the years I'd lost and prove to the world I could be successful. So I had this huge drive.
Yeah.
I'm a driven person naturally, but this drive was also accompanied by the desire to disprove people.
So where do you think that comes from? Okay, the desire to disprove people. Okay.
Yes.
So there was you felt like this sort of like
I wanted to show them.
A judgment, right? Coming at you like, oh, you're never going to be anything or...
Yeah, I mean, from that's when I was just a sweet little girl at age 8, wanting to just be nice to people and then experiencing...
you start getting bullied and then you can't fit in.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I even felt that from some of the teachers and the parents, just because I was the poor girl and I was, the whole thing. So anyway, so I was really
the one parent thing is a through thread of driven. Like when you go and look at like a lot of super successful people, like a lot of them, especially musicians, like you'll see like very strong mother, right? Dad not around. I don't know why that combo
interesting
adds up to this, because I've never had any drive whatsoever.
That's the best.
And I don't know why.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, because you're really your gift. One of your gifts is that you're very you're just present and you're real and you're able to you're just able to experience the presence. Like why would you want more than that? That's new.
Well, I mean, I don't think I was always like that. Remember,
Okay,
like I would still, maybe I need to hire you as my coach therapist, but
Sure.
we could talk about it. But like even back in like high school, like I was like this get along, go along kind of guy, right? Like I would always get A's and B's without trying, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Like, like I really, really had to work at math. We already talked about that.
Yes.
But like science, I remember having this science class and I got lucky. I think it was in junior high, but you know, memory, who knows what it was, right? Yeah. So I would like, every time we had a test, I would turn around and Amy Ramsinger was super smart girl, right? And we would just sit there and chat for like 5 minutes about her notes. And I go, cool. There's another A or B.
I love that. Yeah.
Now, okay. I also just am interested in science and like anything English languagey stuff. I was just listening, right? That's like, you can get a C without studying if you are listening in class, in my experience anyway. Most people are not even there, right? If you look at like the whole room, right? I'm there. Right? Other than math, I'm there. I'm like, Oh,
that's great. That's great. Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from either. It's just luck.
Cool.
Who knows?
Yeah. And you lean into it, you know, it's as you've grown in your path, you just go towards the things that light you up a little bit.
No. Maybe that's probably like my mom and dad's scenario. It's like work hard, play hard kind of thing. It's like,
that's what I was thinking. I was imagining
this thing that you have to do.
Yes.
And then you want to get away from it.
I think you nailed it. And I was thinking the same thing. It's like your values were centered, you know, you were modeled some great values, which is like, enjoy this good stuff, you know? That's wonderful.
Right.
What a gift.
Got lucky. Yes.
You did. You did. I think it's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But different for you. And you ended up driven. So now I know.
Ended up driven, yeah. Yeah. And
have
so
you ever questioned how you got driven?
Well, I do. I think it's two parts. I think there's a natural drive in me that's related to what I shared about when I was a little girl.
Right.
And it's that desire to really give back to the world. I think just very strongly ingrained in me. So I think I feel that purpose to use my voice and use my words, written words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, it's, you know, that's a gift. That's a lucky one to be born with a notion for what your life is here to be about.
Nice.
And I think all of our life has everyone has something like that. It may not be a one thing. It could be a way of being because we all affect each other. But, so I had that natural drive, but the drive that came from wanting to prove myself, is something I've been trying to undo for many years, because that takes you in a wrong path. And so it did take me in a wrong path. So there was a Veer moment when I was probably about 22. I was 4 years into my music production career. I was very aggressive about my success. I was in the gym for 2 hours a day. I had this is a story I love to tell. I had a thick binder that had tabs that were alphabetized by every category where I could improve my life. You know, fitness, beauty, business, etiquette, blah, blah, blah. And so I would cut out articles and then glue them into this binder so that I could flip back one day and teach myself. And it got so bad that I had a huge plastic bin that kind of slid under my bed filled with hundreds of articles that I hadn't had time to file away. That's how bad this, to give you a picture of this. And so I was kind of a maniac.
A little obsessive. Yes.
Yes, I was. And the results, and I was a maniac, and the results were there in certain ways on paper. You know, I was definitely flying through my goals. I was passing my peers up. I mean, for example, in college, even though I already had that job for the concert promoter, I was aggressively networking with anyone I could meet in the music business, entertainment business. And it was a very powerful technique, but it was also a little crazy. But the point is, I had a Veer moment.
A lot of that drive is a little crazy.
It is. Yeah. Yes. Because why? If we really want to be fulfilled, that is not the way to do it. And that's, again, going back to my book. That's
what this weird, absurd American dream.
Yes. It's
telling you it's the right path.
That's right.
It's almost like you have to deprogram that, and you don't even. It's everywhere. That
exactly
drum beat of more.
Yes.
Prettier, thinner, stronger, faster, better.
Yes. And I learned through this Veer moment that it doesn't actually add up to anything that feels good, which
Right.
became later the premise for my book, which is like all these things we're doing on paper don't add up to the happiness we think it will.
Right.
And so my big Veer moment then was that I had employees under me at this concert production company. And I was really just a tyrant about everything being perfect all the time. And I was young. I didn't, I'll give myself some grace. I didn't have any role models to teach me any better.
Sure.
But at one point, I found out all the girls in the office hated me. And that was a huge blow to me because I had to sit with that. And I realized I was laying in my
jive
apartment.
with that 8-year-old, right?
No, exactly.
Right.
And so I write about this in the book. I'm laying on my apartment floor. I think I have some wine and I'm listening to some music. And I'm like, what have I done? And so that was really what stopped me in my tracks from being maniacal about success.
Right.
And I started to question, well, if everything I'm doing is only making me sick and unhappy and not very nice to be around, what do I do? And so that's what led my search for other answers, which is what led me into seeking, everything from psychology to the coaching world to productivity books. And that's what turned that bit started to become a part of my career, because once I started learning how to live my life and improve my inner world, I saw that my outer world mirrored my inner state. And so I started to learn about it and study it for myself. And then before long, I started teaching it to my clients. And so that's where my business, it stopped being just producing events. And I started coaching many of my clients. And that became like the next kind of leg of my career, which is kind of where I am today. I'll still produce an event here and there, but much of my work is centered more around coaching or, specialty projects for a client. But it's
amazing.
It's really kind of brought me to this world where I get to just help people get more in their heart space. And
you became a mean girl and you're like, no, that's not me.
I didn't even know it. I was like, I didn't mean to. Like,
I get it though. I get it. That was part of the story of when I got suicidal in the Air Force. It's like, there's this thing that, like, you remember when you were in school and they talk about the permanent record? Like, they never talk about the permanent record in school, but it's on TV all the time. This will be on your permanent record. And when they said that, I thought that, like, God had this book and it said, Jeff Smith, Menominee, Michigan, age, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Cheated on a test. Okay. Whatever,
Yeah.
And okay, now he's going down to hell, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was, it was weird because for me, after I got through the suicidal depression stuff, it wasn't a healthy fix. It was more, I was just tired of trying to kill myself. And I was like, well, that didn't work, but I survived. So kind of F it. I had an F it attitude. It was more like just give myself a little, grace to be human. It's like this permanent record isn't going to condemn you to hell. Maybe.
That's right. That's right. Is that the conclusion that you came to?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Not right away, but over time. But that's with the Veer that put me into the, maybe like there's more going on that I need to learn about. Right. So I started like reading mostly the spirituality books.
Yeah.
Just something different than you're going to hell. That was, exactly. I wanted a new story.
Yes, me too. I'm like, I don't believe this story. This is not true.
But you got lucky because you decided that when you were 7. Like
I did get lucky. I did.
Yeah, you got really lucky.
I was so
But
lucky.
you were still hearing the drumbeat of, make money, right? And and everything.
I still had to deal with my psychology too.
Right.
I was still very much needing approval in a world that I didn't get it from.
Right.
So.
Oh, weird. Okay. Right. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also was a big people pleaser.
Same.
Right. So like if somebody didn't like me, that was like a personal affront. I'm over that now.
Good.
Right.
So liberating.
Yes. Authenticity helps. Right.
Yes.
So like if you show up and you just say what you think and, feel and believe, right?
Yeah.
Some people will go, whoop, and do an about face and walk away and go, I don't like that guy. Most people go, meh. right? And then some people go, oh, that guy's awesome. Look, he's speaking his truth, right? Those are the folks you want to talk to.
That's right. Beautifully said. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does the work for you when you're just authentic. You don't need to worry about everything else.
Yeah. It's the perfect filter.
Yes.
Okay. So, wow. Let's talk a little bit about the book as we wrap up. So
Sure.
Writing a book is a lot of work. So what made you decide that you were going to take on this job and, write this book? What was the process like, and what did you learn on the way?
I had been trying to write books for years, but never got it through the finish line. And so what happened is I had a Veer moment in 2023 where I was thinking about scaling my agency and growing it and expanding it. Because again, it looked good on paper. But what I realized is once I started getting busier, I was very unhappy. And I realized, oh no, I did it again. I did the thing that looks good, but wasn't what I truly wanted. So I took a good,
right.
I took a weekend. It's not always so beautiful and magical, but I took a weekend to really just marinate in all of it. And I realized it's time to do what my heart really wants to do, which is be a writer. It's always what I've wanted. So basically, I started studying what other people do to write books. Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art was the most important book.
I've read that book.
Me. Yes.
It's a really good book.
Masterpiece. I recommend it to anyone looking to accomplish a project. And I just took his words for gold, and I did what he said. I sat down every day, and I did whether I hated it, sweated through it, cursed through it, or loved it. I was at my computer writing for 2 hours every day. And I just poured my heart out, and I worked with an editor who was fabulous, and I just, took my time with it. But I always knew it was going to be my first book, and it was important that I shared my full story and that it would be an introduction to future books. So it came out in October of 2025, and then I quickly,
nice.
And I thought I was going to start speaking and taking over the world as a speaker, and I realized Veer moment, I need to take a breather and realize what is it. How do I want to show up in the world? And that's kind of where I am right now. I'm just sitting with at what pace do I want to have a platform and speak and write and all of that. So
right.
Yeah. So
the why is important, right?
Yes.
If you put I want to be healthy and happy first, then everything can flow out of that. Right.
Amen. That's beautifully said. Yeah. I love it. You've got it. I want to read your book. This is,
I don't have a book.
I know,
just
but you
listen
should
to the
have
podcast. One. Yes.
Exactly.
That's
you have a beautiful way.
Don't listen to all of it. Oh my goodness. There's so much.
I love it.
Excellent. So I was going to ask one more question as we wrap up. So we'll say again, I'm going to cheat and look at my notes.
Please.
So MeghanCathlin.com, that's one, and then ConsiderateVentures.net. So people should definitely check that out. And say the name of the book because I didn't write it down.
Oh, it's Leading with the Heart by Meghan Cathlin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So the last question, and I promise it's the last one. So how do you talk to your heart? Do you just tune in, or do you feel it? How do you how do you listen to your heart?
Well,
I have my way, but I want to know your way.
Yes. And I do think for each of us, it can be unique, but the way that I like to teach is the way that I discovered it, which is when you start to recognize what lights you up, the feeling that makes you go, oh my gosh, or just even a little bit elated. It can be
the
as simple
whole body,
as,
yes, kind of thing.
Yes. Or even a small thing I love a hot cup of coffee, or I love a rainy day, or start to write those down and start to understand when your heart is giving you a yes. And so in the book, I say a yes is when your heart feels excited and it's inspired towards something.
Nice.
You also want to take note of the opposite, which I call the UGs. Whatever leaves you feeling drained, depleted, not good. That can be, too many business meetings or having coffee with someone for years that you really makes you feel horrible. Start to analyze where you feel horrible.
Yeah.
And once you start to get pro at knowing the yes versus the UG, and once you start prioritizing the yeses and trying to decrease some of the UGs, your heart and you will be in beautiful communication. And that's
awesome.
That's a skill to be developed, a muscle to be grown. And that's my favorite technique.
I love that. That's good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've got a meditation teacher. I wanted to say that publicly.
Nice.
So, Henry, I can't remember, Shook something. Anyway, he's got an app called The Way with Henry, his name. Yeah. And it's $12 a month. right?
Okay.
And he's like one of the only non-Japanese Zen masters on the planet. He's from England.
Oh,
So he's officially my meditation coach.
so cool.
I've been doing this for like about a year now, right? $12 a month. That's like less than Spotify.
Yes.
And I get to, actually learn from a Zen master. How awesome is that? So I know I'm plugging stuff, but it has a point.
For sure. I'm going to check it out.
I don't work for Henry. I'm not getting paid by Henry. He's just awesome. But the other day in Henry's, because this was about your yes moment, right? And the heart saying yes. He says, now tune into your heart and imagine it about like it's spaciousness. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So I go out there and I'm like, my heart is spaciousness. And what pops in my brain is peanut butter. And I just laughed. And I was like, okay, yes to peanut butter.
Go get you some peanut butter right away.
I meditated first, and then I went and had some peanut butter.
That's amazing. I love it. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's just giving your heart what it's asking for, and you start to become a different person who can give so much more when you're in your more fulfilled, content
Something
state.
simple, Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember the Uggs too. I remember like having the job Ugg.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Ugg felt like when I hear or think about a thought about doing X, it's like I kind of want to turn all the lights off and lay down.
Yes. That's a great way to explain it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's what Ugg feels like to me anyway.
Yes. No, I agree with that completely. And it's amazing how often people keep them in their lives. It's like you can't always just eliminate them, but try and reduce them if you can and add some more yeses.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with, some things you just have to do, but do them because of love, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like, do you want to take care of your elderly parents? Yeah, you do. Is it great? Probably not.
That's right.
But you want to do it, right? Yeah. That's the things worth suffering for. Those are the things you need to find.
Well said. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's wrap this up.
All right.
You are at MeghanCathlin.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for about an hour. You have a good one.
Thank you so much. You too. I had a great time.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks for taking the time to ride along with us on another episode of Vroom Vroom Veer. For podcast info and show notes, be sure to head over to vvveer.com. That's VVER.com. Man, that's fun to say. And we'll catch up with you next time here on Vroom Vroom Veer.